Hey, everybody. Yeah, it's Monday morning. Does it feel like it to you? We're on day 9 of our 22 days of prayer, and we're doing our prayer tips again this morning. And man, if I could just give you a 30-second prayer tip right now, it would be to say go back and watch Justin White's sermon from yesterday. It was a fantastic sermon on prayer, and if you didn't see it, you need to go watch it. You will not be disappointed. I was thinking this week about some of the distractions that I face in my prayer life, and I think that's probably the biggest obstacle to my prayer life is distractions and interruptions. I'll start off with good intentions, and invariably, something, uh, some event will come around and interrupt me. I'll get distracted. I'll go down a rabbit trail. I'll wander in my mind and I'll get distracted from my prayers. Maybe that's one of the hindrances to your prayer life as well. Did you ever stop and think about the fact that Jesus faced distractions and interruptions almost every single day, and no matter what he was doing? One day he's preaching. Somebody busts through the roof, drops a paralyzed man down, and asks Jesus to heal him. Or Jesus is just walking down Jericho Road. There's crowds of people around him, and a blind man named Bartimaeus starts crying out to him. And when people try to silence him, he cries out all the louder, Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me. He's always being interrupted. He's teaching and healing, and people start bringing their babies and their kids to Jesus for Jesus to touch them and bless them. Interruption. He's trying to take a nap in the bottom of the boat, and the disciples wake him up in the middle of his nap because they're afraid and there's a storm. Another interruption. He's eating dinner at the house of a Pharisee, and a sinful woman, we call her, interrupted him, and he brought forgiveness to her. He's walking down the road minding his own business, and a centurion, a soldier, comes and said, help me, Lord, my little daughter is dying, and she needs healed. And Jesus is interrupted again. And while he's on his way to heal the dying girl, he's interrupted in the middle of his interruption by a diseased woman with an issue of blood. No matter what Jesus did, he was interrupted. In fact, scholars and authors and preachers have made a big deal about that. One author even calls him the interruptible Jesus because he's being interrupted all the time. Whether he's preaching or eating or talking or walking, he's always interrupted. But when I think about it, there was one arena, one area of Jesus' life that he consciously protected himself from interruptions in. And you know what that is. It is in the area of his prayer life. Now, that doesn't mean that the crowds didn't seek him down and find him again, or that his disciples never interrupted him. But Jesus was very careful to guard his prayer time. Listen to a couple of verses on this. Maybe you've heard them before, but listen closely to the language in these verses. Mark chapter 1 and verse 35 says, in the early morning, while it was still dark, Jesus got up, left the house, went away to a secluded place, and was praying there. Matthew 14:23. After he had sent the crowds away, he went up on the mountain by himself to pray, and when it was evening, he was there alone. And then one more that sort of generalizes this, Luke 5:16. But Jesus himself would often slip away to the wilderness and pray. Even though Jesus was the king of being interrupted and using those interruptions well, the one area of his life that he protected from interruptions was prayer. There's a tech writer by the name of Linda Stone who says continuous partial attention is our new default setting. Continuous partial attention is our new default setting. God deserves our full attention. My son-in-law, Tyler McKenzie, preaches at Northeast Christian Church in Louisville, Kentucky. And my wife informed me yesterday he's preaching a series called Unhurried Rhythms. If you have time to go check it out at Northeast Christian Church in Louisville, check it out online. Some fantastic stuff about this very subject. He quotes Carey Nieuwhof, who says, think of every chirp and buzz and notification uh, while you're trying to pray as a knock on your door. So what I'm suggesting today, especially as we start another week of our 22 days of prayer, is make an appointment and keep it. Put God on your calendar. Make an appointment with the God of the universe and keep that appointment as if it's the most important appointment of your day, because it is. And once you make that appointment and keep it, choose a place to keep that appointment, a location for the appointment that you've already made. I mean, hide if you have to. Lock yourself in the basement or in the bathroom, but find a spot, keep that appointment. A relationship happens when we communicate, so make sure that you find a place to do that. And then turn off your device and talk to God. I remember when I first started preaching, I didn't have a computer. I didn't have books. I didn't own much of anything, and I'd start with a pencil and a yellow pad and a Bible, writing my sermon every week. I think when you sit before God in prayer, that's the best way to go. I'm going back to that. I want to keep my appointment with God. I hope you keep yours with Him today. Have a great day.